All I can really say about Just a Boy is that I'm so glad I have Kindle Unlimited because if I'd paid for this, I would have been pretty annoyed. I love Casey Watson's books. I adore them. I've read pretty much all of them twice now. This is actually, for some reason, the first time I've read this one. I'm not entirely sure why I missed it when I was reading them all the first time, but honestly, I kind of can't recommend it unless, for example, you have Kindle Unlimited and it's going to cost you nothing to read it because it is a short story, but it's a 10-minute read. And the story is okay. It's a foster care memoir about a young boy, a teenage boy, who is blind. And there's a little bit of information about what it's like to foster somebody who's blind when you don't know anything about people who are blind, and that actually they can do a lot more than you might think, which I think is a really nice message because I think a lot of people unfortunately look down on blind people, think they can't do anything, think they're useless. That's obviously not the case. And it does a good job of delivering that message. And the boy, Cameron, is a really nice person, and it was nice to read his story, all 10 minutes of it. And the rest of the book is, I think, maybe 4 or 5 excerpts from other Casey Watson books. So I guess if you've never read anything by Casey Watson and you don't really know where to start, you're not sure which your kind of story might be, then maybe this would be okay at giving you samples of her work and you can decide which story might appeal to you most. But I feel like you could just read the brief descriptions on Amazon to get a general overview of what to expect, and that would be just as useful and would save you currently £1.20. That's how much it costs on Amazon for a 10-minute read and a collection of excerpts. Now, I'm not saying that I think Cameron's story should have been longer. It seems like it was a very straightforward placement and a very brief placement as well. He was with them for like 1 or 2 nights because a family member was actually coming to look after him. The reason he was in foster care is because he lived with his elderly grandparents. One of them had to go into hospital, the other one had to be at the hospital with them, so he needed somewhere to stay just for a brief period of time. Really is a very straightforward, non-problematic case, and it was nice. It was fine. The 10 minutes were decent, and because I didn't pay for it, because I have Kindle Unlimited, it wasn't a problem. But afterwards, I thought I'd check out some of the reviews to see what people were saying, because if I'd paid for it, I'd have been annoyed. And the reviews there are actually quite a lot of very positive reviews, but there are some reviews from some people saying, I've just started reading this, but I'm enjoying it. And I'm thinking, yeah, give it a couple of pages and you'll be finished. So I don't agree with people who review things when they've only read a couple of pages. There's no point to that. But there were obviously a lot of reviews from a lot of people who felt cheated, who felt like they'd paid for something that they hadn't been given. And it's not very clear at all that this is just a 10-minute story. It is clear that it's a short read. It says in the title, it says an inspiring and heartwarming short story, which is fair enough. However, it doesn't say plus a couple of chapters from some other books, and it says that it's 105 pages, the print length. I don't know why they call it a print length on Kindle because it's not a print length, but it is false advertising, basically. It looks like you're getting 105 pages of this short story and you're not. So I'm not really annoyed about the story itself, it's absolutely fine, but I am annoyed by the false advertising. I can't get too annoyed because I didn't pay for it, technically. But yeah, I can completely understand why people would be really annoyed. If you like Casey Watson's work and you have Kindle Unlimited, absolutely go for it. It's a nice, heartwarming 10-minute read, and I didn't mind it. But if you don't have Kindle Unlimited, maybe just put it in your wish list until, a time when you maybe do decide to get Kindle Unlimited, because unless you've never read anything by Casey Watson and you're actually interested in the samples, it's definitely not worth it.